Want to learn Korean? Come visit TalkToMeInKorean.com to find the best Korean lessons for you.
Today in this video, let's talk about how to say, well, two different ways to say we. 안녕하세요, 전현우입니다. Hi, I'm Hyunwoo from TalkToMeInKorean.com. How do you say we in Korean? I'm not talking about the French we, which means yes. We're talking about we, 우리. You might know this word, 우리. So, 우리 is a good word that means we or us, but there is another word that you need to know about, and there can be some confusing points when it comes to using 우리 and this other word. This other word is 저희. So you write it as 저 and 희, but you only pronounce it as 저희. You don't say 저희. It's too effortful. So 저희. So many people also pronounce the word with the 히읗 part weakened, 저희. So when you're speaking casual language with a friend of yours, you can use 우리 for both occasions, okay? And I'm talking about two occasions here. Please pay attention. This is very important. There can be two different kinds of we or us, and those two cases are, one, when you are including the listener, and when you are excluding the listener. So when you're including the listener in we, us, you say one thing, and it's like us versus you. When you're excluding, you're not, letting the other person join your group, there's another meaning. But in casual language, this is more, it's simpler and easier because you say 우리 and 우리 for both occasions. So for example, if you say 우리 동네, 동네 is a neighborhood or a part of the town, part of the city. So if your friend who's listening to you is from another town, when you say 우리 동네, it automatically means my neighborhood in English. You don't say our neighborhood because you clearly don't share a neighborhood, my neighborhood. But in Korean, it's 우리 동네 rather than 내 동네 because you don't own it. It's you belong to the community, you're part of that group. So so 우리 동네. And you can say, 우리 동네로 와, 우리 동네, our or my neighborhood. But if the other person also lives in the same neighborhood, it's a shared we, okay? So in 반말, casual language between friends or people of the same age, it's the same. But in 존댓말 situations, this changes. This is where things can get a little bit tricky. So, for example, when you are talking about, us together, you, me and you together, the speaker and the listener all together, it's 우리. Okay? So far so good, right? But if you are excluding the other person, it's 저희. So, some examples. 우리 회사. If you say 우리 회사 to the listener, a third person listening and eavesdropping on the conversation can think that, they work at the same place, 우리 회사. But if you say 저희 회사, speaking 존댓말, you're implying that the other person doesn't belong to the company. So it would be awkward, it would be odd if you were talking to your boss, your work boss, and if you say 저희 회사, it would suddenly sound as if you just fired that person, or you suddenly created another company. You've suddenly belonged to another company that is not the same as the one that the boss belongs to. So that there's a separation. Some other sample sentences. If you say 저희 회사는 서울에 있습니다. 저희 회사는 서울에 있습니다. You need to know automatically that whoever is listening is not working at that company. Our company is in Seoul. And say your company's name was mentioned in the newspaper and you want to say that to your boss. 저희 회사 이름이 신문에 나왔어요. You can't say that. You say 우리 회사 이름이 신문에 나왔습니다. So I know some people will say that 저희 회사 just because they think 저희 is more polite, but it's a mistake. So they just try to be polite, but then they say the unnecessary 저희 and accidentally exclude the boss. Okay, and if this were in casual language, you can say 우리 and 우리 in both cases. 우리 회사는 서울에 있어, and our company's name was mentioned in the newspaper. You can say 우리 회사 이름이 신문에 나왔어, even if you work together or if you don't work together. Okay? And here's one last example about the difference between 반말 and 존댓말 when you say we in Korean. So if you want to say let's go over to my place, let's go over to my place. In 반말, you say 우리 집으로 가자. 우리 집으로 가자. Even if you live by yourself. 우리 집으로 가자. You don't say 내 집으로 가자. People just don't say that. And if you want to say this in 존댓말, the same exact sentence in English, in Korean, you say 저희 집으로 가시죠. 저희 집으로 가시죠. You don't say 우리 집으로 가시죠 because you and the listener don't share a house. 저희 집으로 가시죠. Even if you live by yourself in the same way. Alright guys, that's it for this episode of Korean Q&A with Talk to Me in Korean. Upside down, talk to me in Korean. I like being upside down, if you know me personally, if you follow me on Instagram. So anyway, thank you for studying with Talk to Me in Korean's lessons and textbooks. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and also turn on the notifications so you are notified every time we post a lesson, which is every single day of the week. And we'll see you next time. 다음 시간에 만나요. 감사합니다. Bye.